minutes of live side split stretching. We're gonna get right into our warm up in just a second. But if you are feeling stiff anywhere else, a little bit of quick movement. I just get out of bed. My low back is quite stiff. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of almost normal looking movement to start loosening up. All right. All right. People are starting to roll on in. So let's get into the regular scheduled workout. We're doing some hip cars. Hip cars are all about controlled rotations. What that means is we are taking our hips and we're going wee and doing some controlled rotations. The goal here is to use our muscles to move our leg through as much range of motion as possible, aiming to get into more and more and more range of motion. And hopefully you get stronger and more mobile all at the same time. And then you realize, oh man, my legs can do crazy things, just not before I warm up. Oh, make sure you have your water prepared and off to the side. Let's go. Cars, they look a little bit like this. We're gonna start by bringing the knee right in front as high as we can. If you want, you kind of inset the knee just a little bit towards the center of your body. And then we're going to bring that knee all the way out to the side. Keep the knee as high as you can. From here, we're going to rotate this leg at the hip level. So we're going to aim to try and get to horizontal with that leg first. Then we're going to keep going. Bring the ankle up. Flex the hamstrings, bring the leg all the way back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch here in the hip flexor. And that is one rep. We're gonna do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. And hopefully your hips will loosen up and you'll start moving a little bit better immediately. Let's go. High knee, open. Ankle up, down and back. High knee, open. Ankle up, down and back. High knee, open. Ankle up, down and back. I think that's three. High knee, open. Ankle up, down and back. Four, open. Ankle, down and back. Five, open. Ankle, down and back. Six, open. Ankle, down and back. Seven, ankle, open. Ankle, down and back. Eight, open. Ankle, down and back. Nine, open. Ankle, down and back. Last one, 10. Oh, man. Hopefully, be contracting those muscles. Starting to feel the contractions happening here in the hips when you're getting that crazy range of motion. And it might be a little bit uncomfortable. This is one of your first couple of times joining in, asking your hips to do these things. I promise over time it gets a little bit easier. All right. That's hip number one. Let's go. Hip number two. Stand up straight. Add a little bit of tension in the core so you're not just flopping around when you're doing the exercises. And let's go. High knee, open. Ankle up, down and back. High knee, open. Ankle up, down and back. High knee, open. Ankle up, down and back. That's three. High knee, open. Ankle up, down and back. Knee, open. Ankle, back. Knee, open. Ankle, back. I think there's five or six. Knee, open. Ankle, back. Knee, open. Ankle, back. I think that's eight. Nine. Last one. Open. Lift that leg as high as possible. Rotate. Bring that ankle up as high as you can. Bring the leg back down and back. Oh. For a lot of people, when I tell them to do the down and back right here, if they have tighter, weaker hamstrings, they might be cramping back here, especially because we keep on doing the reps and it is tiring. So if you need to take a little bit of break at any point, feel free to lean forward, do some hamstring stretches, do a little bit of bouncy bounce. And let's get into the reverse. We do hip cars going forwards and we do them going backwards. And what we just did was going forwards. Jay is here. Welcome. Hello, hello. Oh, we got a whole bunch of people over here on YouTube. If you're just joining in, we do 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make stretching on the floor, doing all the things that are painful and uncomfortable, a little bit more fun, a little bit more structured. If you need something like that to help you get a little bit more flexible, to move a little bit better, this is the place to be. Hit follow, hit subscribe. We're here live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. And on weekends, so tomorrow morning, we'll be live at 9 a.m. Eastern. So come on in and check it out. Okay, reverse hip curls. Let's go. I want you to really focus on keeping the core nice and tight here, because the first move that we're going to do is bring this leg back. We're flexing the hamstrings, we're flexing the glutes, we're pulling this leg back, we're feeling the stretch here in the front, in the hip flexor. And I want you to keep the core tight, because otherwise you'll be doing a whole bunch of twerking when you bring the leg back. And that puts a lot of strain in the low back, in the mid back, and we don't need all that strain in the low back and the mid back. We want the stretch to come from the hip. That's why it's called a hip car. All right. So, like I said, keep your core nice and tight, and that will help minimize how much of your back is getting into this exercise. Cool. Core, leg back. Lift the leg directly up to the side. Breathe. Aiming for horizontal, and then we're gonna rotate and bring the ankle up as high as you can. Then do the opposite. Bring the ankle down, lift that knee as high as you can, and finish by bringing the knee forward to the front. And that is one rep. We're doing 10 of these. Let's go. Core, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's two. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's three. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. Four. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. Six. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, ankle. Eight. Back, side, ankle, ankle. Nine. Back, side, ankle, ankle. 10. Oh. If you're feeling a little bit off balance, or if the leg doing the balancing work while the other leg is going crazy, is feeling it, like in the calves, maybe in the toes that are gripping the feet, that is totally normal. And that makes sense. It might help if you hold on to something a little bit to help with the balance, so that we can get this last set done. We got one last tip to do in reverse. Let's get ready to go. Again, core nice and tight. Bring that leg down and back. Flex the glutes, flex the hamstrings. Feel a little bit of stretch here in the hip flexor. Core is tight, so no pressure in the low back. Let's go. Lift the leg directly to the side. Rotate the ankle up as high as you can. Bring the ankle as low as you can. Then lift the knee up high. Finish by bringing the knee forward. That's one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's three. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. Four. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. Five. We're halfway there. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. Six. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. Seven. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. Eight. Two more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. Nine. Last one. Back. I'm off balance. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. 10. Those are our hip guards. And we are all done with our first warm-up exercise. Whew. Just joining in with those crazy leg things that we were doing are called hip cars. CARS stands for controlled articulated rotations, and we're just trying to move our hips through as much range of motion as possible and get a little bit stronger along the way. That was really intense, so we're going to get into our second warm-up exercise, and that is the elephant walk. But to get into it, we're going to start by folding at the hips and trying to get into this L shape. If you got a tight low back, you didn't sleep too well, or actually, you're probably going to bed soon. You've been sitting in front of a computer all day. You might be feeling a little bit of tension here in the back. And just give it a couple of seconds. Try to relax. Your back will start to chill out. Once you're really starting to feel it in just your hamstrings ish area back here in the leg, we're ready to continue. We're going to focus on bringing the belly button down towards the ground. Whew, and get into a intense hamstring stretch. And we're going to just chill. We're going to breathe. Keep on focusing on that belly button. Bring the belly button down. Now we're going to add a little bit of movement. We're going to bend one knee and straighten the other. And we're going to do the opposite. We're going to bend the other knee and straighten the other. The whole time, I want you to keep on trying to bring that belly button down and forward. All right, let's go. One leg is bent. Oh, breathe. Switch to the other side. Oh, and keep going. When you first start these, your hamstrings will probably be quite unhappy with you. You'll feel a lot of tension. If you're really trying to get to your end range of motion by bringing your belly button down as much as you can, you might feel a bunch of tingly pull just underneath your glutes. That's where your hamstrings turn into tendons and attaches into your pelvis. So that's what you're feeling. You're feeling the pull on your pelvis is, your hamstring stretch. Whew. You might be feeling it in the back of your leg, close to the center. You might be feeling it in your toes. They might be getting a little bit tingly. And that is often called nerve flossing or nerve stretching. It's not just your muscles that are getting a little bit of stretch when you're in this position. Whew. Breathe. Keep going. We want to get to a point where suddenly you notice, oh, hey, this isn't so bad. I can do these. This is okay. And we want you to get comfortable in this extended, stretched out hamstring position, shifting back and forth. When you're feeling like it's not so bad, try to bring your belly buttons down again. Get a little bit deeper into the stretch, and you can pick up the pace if you like. Whew. That is our elephant walk. We're gonna do 3 more seconds, and then we're gonna transition into the next thing. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, popping a bit of a squat. Come on up into standing. Take your time for a second. You might be feeling that tingliness in the toes coming up. So shake out the legs, do a little dance, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And catch your breath. Grab a sip of water if you need. We're going to get into part 2 of warm-up exercise number 2. We're going to get back into that position we were just in, where our legs are pretty close together, not too far apart. We're folded forward, and one knee is bent. We're going to reach our hand from the bent leg side over to the opposite side, like so. We're going to help do some thoracic rotations, meaning we're going to reach our arms up behind us. Our spine is rotating. This is called thoracic rotation. We're going to rotate our necks, look at those fingers in the sky where they're pointing. Keep the location in mind and try to reach a little bit further as we go. And come on back down. Other side is now knee is bent. Arm from the bent leg side goes across the body to help push open the chest. Extend the arms up. Breathe. And come on back down and chill. Whew. It was a tiny little bit of thoracic rotation. We're going to do 5 reps in total, so we got 4 more to do. Hop on back down into that mini bent leg position, and let's go. Open, 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 open. When you reach the deepest position that you can reach, I want you to take a small breath. Inhale and exhale. And see if you can reach a little bit further. Inhale. Exhale. Woo. A lot more. Let's go. Reach, 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 reach. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Oh. Keep going. That was 2 of 5. We got 3 more to go. What side did I just do? Okay, right side. Reach, inhale, exhale. Oh, other side. That's 3. Keep going. That's 4. We got one last one to do. Let's go. And 5. All right. Oh, hopefully, feeling a little bit of a burn in your shoulders and your shoulder blades from reaching as hard as you can behind you. Hopefully, your spine is getting a little bit of rotation. That's feeling a little bit better. Feel free to add in some more movement into your spine as we wiggle and chill and relax. We're going to get into warm up exercise number 3, and that is the Cossack switch. Let's look at it. We are opening up our legs pretty wide. We are trying to sit back and down into one side and getting as low as possible while this leg over here is just hanging out. And we're going to try our best to scoot our butts over to the other side, pause for a second, and then come on back. Oh, it's really hard for most people to drop right into one of those. So we're going to pre-stretch some of our joints and some of our muscles, okay? I want you to tuck your knees into your chest and lean forward so that your heels are off the ground. I want you to feel the stretch in your Achilles tendon, feeling the muscles get pulled in your calves, and I want you to feel the hips folding forward as you bring your knees to your chest. We're working on all of the muscles that need to get compressed when we're in that deep squat position. At the bottom, for example, this right here is basically the same as this, right? Okay, we'll hang out here for a little bit, and then we're gonna do 10 reps together. I'll walk us through how to do the first couple of reps, and I'll go through more intense variations as we do the 10 reps. All right? Whew. Breathe, chill, feel that calf relaxing. Maybe your heel is dropping down and you're not doing it on purpose. You're not leaning backwards. It's just that your ankles are feeling a little bit more flexible after stretching for a little bit. And that is good. Okay, we're gonna come into our first rep. I want you to release your arms from that knee to chest position. Take your hands, place them slightly in front of your knees. Not way out, just slightly in front. So that your body weight is right in your hands. Cool? From here, we're gonna extend one leg out to the side. We're gonna do our best to place this heel down on the ground. When your heel is down, you basically have a little tripod between your big toe, your pinky toe, and your heel, and that gives you a lot of stability. And we want that because we're shifting from side to side. We're kind of off balance. This leg is barely doing anything. So make sure this heel is down. And get as low as you can with the heel down. For some of you, that might mean you can go all the way down here. For some of you, you might have to start quite a bit higher, and that is okay. It's part of the process. From here, we are trying our best to scoot our butts over to the other side. If you can just go, great. If you need a little bit of help, you want to put your hands down on the floor to help with balance, to help with strength. Great, do that. When you're here at the other side, I want you to pause and I want you to try and squeeze as low and compact into that stretch as possible for just a second and then come back. That is 1 rep. We're gonna do 10 of these in total. We'll count that first one. So we're gonna do 9 more, all right? Again, heels are down, feeling strong. Put your hands down if you need it. Scoot your butt over to the side, pause, sink into that stretch, and come on over. 2, 3. If you've been doing these with your hands down and you feel like, oh, okay, I can do these without my hands, keep on leaning forward. Just remove your hands. And that will keep most of the balance feeling the exact same, but you'll have a little less support. So you're working a little harder. If this is feeling easy, you can sit up a lot straighter and sit your butt back, extend your hands forward to help counterbalance, and keep going. This changes up which muscles are working, how your balance works. So this should, for most people, become a little bit more intense. That's 8 and 9. Last one. Sit deep into the final stretch. Oh, and come across. That is 10 reps of Cossack switches. we're done with the warm up exercises. If you're just joining in and you're like, that's the warm up exercises that we just finished. What the heck? Don't worry, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live hip mobility and side splits training. So what we needed to do to get everybody on the same page was do our warm up, right? You need the blood pumping, get some sweatiness going, get the muscles ready for maximum stretches. And that's what's coming up. Grab a sip of water or coffee if you're me, and it's time for that. And I'm gonna scroll through the chat real quick. It says there's 55 new messages. Thank you, TikTok. Red Rio says you're amazing. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Anything else in the chat? I'm scrolling real fast to see if there's anything to address, any comments to reply to, and it seems like we are good for the moment. So, back to the live. Okay. The first stretch we're going to do is a hamstring stretch. And the way we're going to do it looks a little bit like this. You might want to actually grab a cushion, a pillow, something to pad your knees for a second. I completely forgot to tell you because I was thirsty. And we'll pause for a second, give people a second to grab stuff if they need it. You don't need a cushion. If you're younger, you got strong knees, they don't feel super sensitive when you're kneeling on the ground, you don't need it. But it's always nice to have a little bit of padding. Okay, cool. If your cushion is big enough to put both knees on, go for it. Let's start there. I want your hips pointing directly forward, right? See the line that your legs or your hips are making when your knees are together? That's how I want your hips during the stretch. I don't want you to be so far extended that your right hip is like way out here, your left hip is way back there, and that just adds a lot of complexity and isn't gonna help us make the stretch any easier. Cool? From here, with your shoulders, your hips pointed forward, with your hips in a straight line across your body, I want you to extend one leg out in front of you. And that is it. That's our setup. We're gonna bring our belly button down to the ground. If you immediately start wobbling from side to side, you can open up the legs just a little bit so that you can stay balanced and fold. I'm gonna rotate around so that you don't have to stare at the top of my head for the whole entire next like 2 minutes while we do the stretch. And we're ready to go. Again, make sure your hips are in a straight line in front of you, like so. Bring your belly button down to the ground. If you have a leg you know is already a little less stretchy, needs a little bit more work, let's start with that one. Oh, once your belly button is folded forward towards your thighs, you're gonna feel the hamstring stretch. It's gonna be a little bit uncomfortable. It's gonna be unhappy. Luckily, you have both your hands to help with balance, to help with shifting your weight around. And we're just gonna breathe. We're gonna spend a couple of seconds trying to get into a very deep stretch so that when we spend 30 seconds in the stretch, we're stretching 30 great seconds, all right? Oh, from here, we're gonna do a big inhale, exhale. I want you to take a big breath in without popping up like a balloon. And then I want you to slowly exhale. And while you're exhaling, I want you to try your best to bring your belly button down to the thighs. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Ah, now your hamstrings should be in even more discomfort, just generally unhappy with you, thinking you're a little bit crazy, and that's okay. Keep on breathing, some relatively normal breaths. Try to relax in this position as much as you can, and chill. Okay, we're gonna do one more inhale, exhale. You ready? Inhale, exhale, and fold. Ah, okay, that's it. That's our super intense stretch. Breathe, normalize it, calm down for a second, and 30 seconds, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. If you're feeling mentally strong, you can keep on trying to compress your abs, your core down to the leg and push the limits of your stretch. 23, 22, 21. But you don't have to work that hard if you don't want to. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is our hamstring stretch. Oh, bring your legs in. My calves are tingly right now. Move your legs a little bit if you need to. And let's switch on over to the other side. Oh, by the way, everybody on the live, I am experimenting with different Wi Fi and data combinations because the Wi Fi here is not super strong. And so, if you're seeing lag on the screen, if there's something going on that looks a little bit weird, please let me know in the chat so I have some ideas of generally when there's an issue with the internet. Cool? All right, we're switching to the other leg. Let's go. Again, we're trying to keep the hips in a nice straight line in front of us. We're going to extend one leg out, widen the stance if you need to for balance, and we'll bring the belly button down to the thigh. Oh, hamstring stretch. If you need, you can use both your hands for balance on either side. If you're feeling strong and stable, you can get rid of it and just feel the intensity of the weight pulling you down. Oh, breathe. All right, we're going to inhale, exhale. Let's go. Inhale, exhale, and fold. Ah, ha, ha. Ah. Breathe, relax, try to chill out your muscles. Imagine them getting longer in your leg and relax. We're gonna inhale, exhale. Y'all ready? Inhale, exhale, and fold. Throughout this, you probably have seen that my back has been pretty bent. And if your back is bent because you're just kind of relaxing in place, that is fine, no big deal. But if your back is a little bit bent because you're trying to put your head to your knee and you're feeling a lot of strain in your neck, in your shoulders, that is a little too much. Most of the stretch is coming from the hips, so putting all that extra pressure on the rest of your joints is unnecessary. Cool? All right, I think we got one more inhale. Exhale. Let's go. Inhale, exhale. Oh man, that's intense. Try your best to relax. It's not that intense. Everything's okay. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Breathe. Try to relax while you do this. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Crawl out of that hamstring stretch position. And oh, that is our first stretch. We got 5 stretches in total. So let's get right into it. That block, that cushion you were using, we don't need it anymore. You can toss it off to the side. We're gonna get into stretch number 2. If you're just joining in and you've just watched grown man suffer doing some hamstring stretches, feeling like not doing anything at all, but my limbs and muscles feeling like they're gonna explode, then I hope you know we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of side split and hip mobility work. If you need a little bit of consistency, if you need some time to practice, some extra motivation, then you are in the right place. Go ahead and join in. We are moving on into the butterfly stretch. Stretch number 2. I'm gonna bring our feet together, pull them in, and I recommend you do this with your back against the wall. When your back is against the wall, you got something to lean into. It'll keep you from rolling backwards, it'll keep you from falling backwards so that you can focus on the stretch. In the butterfly stretch, the goal is to stretch the groin area right here. And in order to do that, you bring your knees down into the ground. Okay? I want you to get stronger whenever you're training. So I want you to try your best to use your outer thigh muscles and your glutes to pull your legs open, bring them into the ground, and feel that stretch here in the groin. Once you've done that, and you feel like your knees went down a little bit and they got stuck, that's all that matters. Take your hands, push your legs down into the ground. When you do this, you're gonna feel some pressure in your shoulders, maybe in the back of your head, because you're pushing it into the wall at the same time as you're pushing your legs down into the ground, and that is good. That means you're putting a lot more force into your legs than you otherwise would have been able to. Cool? Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. If you're a regular on this show, you've been doing this for a while. And on some days, you feel like, oh man, I think I lost some flexibility. Know that that is very normal. Flexibility and strength and mobility, all those things that are worth developing, they don't happen in straight lines. Days where you're sore, where you're feeling sick, you might lose a whole bunch of flexibility and be like, oh my gosh, what's happening? That could be a sign of overtraining. It could be a sign you're just a little bit sick. Maybe you're just tired, haven't slept enough, can't wait for the weekend, that type of vibe. And that's okay. So don't be discouraged. We're practicing consistency and it's good. I hope you've been holding the stretch for a long time because I forgot to start counting and I realized I forgot to start counting for so long that we're probably already done with our 30 seconds. So we'll just do a symbolic 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our whole stretch. Oh, breathe, relax, let your hands go, and try to move your legs. Yeah. If your legs are struggling to move up and down a little bit, they're kind of frozen for some reason, take your hands, give them a little shake. Hey, wake up, wake up. And when they're feeling a little bit more awake, we can go ahead and get into stretch number 3, the standing pancake or the seated pancake. I'm going to check the chat real quick. Oh. Joshua Tree says, oh, I'm 30 minutes late. Don't worry. The most important chunks are right here. You're not that late. We're going to move on into stretch number 3, the standing pancake or the seated pancake. Josh, if you're going to jump into this first, then I recommend you take a real chill. Maybe do the seated pancake because you didn't get a chance to warm up. But you're not late. You always got plenty of time to get a little bit of exercise. Is it going to be as intense as our full 1 hours of stuff with our warm up? Maybe not, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. All right, pancake. We are basically just opening up our legs, folding at the hips, bringing the belly button, pointing it straight down into the ground, and doing a lot more of that. Go, 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 go. Oh, and the goal is to go from this, L-shaped position into a closed, squished up, crazy position. It's gonna be really hard for pretty much everybody. So, what I want you to do is I want you to get into a position where gravity can give you the most help. In general, when your body is horizontal like this, your upper body is horizontal like this, gravity is going to be pulling you the hardest and you're going to feel the most pressure here in your hips. So try your best to get to a point where your upper body is horizontal. We can do that while standing, right? If you open up the legs, stick your butt back, you can keep on adjusting where that position is and you can get deeper into your pancake from here. If you're in a seated position and you're trying to get into a deeper pancake, you might need a higher chair just to elevate your butt. The higher your butt is, the easier it will be to stay horizontal. But if you're new to this and you're not quite ready for all of that extra pressure, it's gonna hurt your muscles or something like that. It's not, if you've never done one before, it's not going to hurt your muscles. But if you're really sore right now and you don't want extra pressure building on your hips, on your hamstrings, on your legs, that's fine. In the seated version, you can drop your butt pretty low. You can just try to fold forward. One of the common problems with the pancake is a lot of people get stuck doing something like this. They're going and they're folding forward and rotating like this, and there is no movement from the hips. Okay? So I want you to really focus on sort of the back and the hips. I want you to almost sit up a little extra straight and fold forward so that you're not just turning into a ball like so. Lost everybody. This is what falls out of my face whenever I lean forward. Okay, that was not a great explanation about what's going on with the low back. So I'm going to demonstrate standing. because I have bad flexibility and I need a different position to demonstrate. Okay, pull this shirt tight. When we are in this position, I want you to try and keep your back nice and straight, especially at the beginning. One, because it makes gravity work harder for you. If you're all floppy and loose, you're not going to feel the stretch nearly as intensely. And because one of the big problems that most people tend to have when they're doing the pancake is they're trying to reach and touch their toes like this and their whole back is rounded like that. That isn't working the main thing that we're focusing on, which is the hips, right? The hips are where all of the movement is coming from. If you think you're reaching further and further and further, but really you're just bending your back, and that's where all the stretch is coming from, you're focusing on the wrong thing. Cool? So, stick the butt out, arch the back, stick your belly button almost forward, and we're ready to fold. Cool? Again, elevate your butt to help gravity do more work. Let's go. We're gonna get into position, open up those legs as wide as you can. There should not be any discomfort in the hips. If there is, you can bring your legs back together. Fold forward, point your belly button down to start. Straighten out that back a little bit to get maximum leverage and help from gravity. Extend your arms above your head. Keep your biceps by your ears to get a little bit more intensity. You don't have to hold it this way. And we're ready to go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Imagine sinking deeper into the stretch, get a little bit lower. 18, 17, 16, 15. Bring that belly button down to the floor. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Put your hands down. Oh, that is our pancake stretch. If you're doing this from a seated position, your inner thighs might be less tense and less struggly right now. And that's okay. If you did the standing version, you might be feeling a whole bunch of contraction here in the inner thigh muscles. And that might be really intense. That's also okay. It's just you might need to walk around and limp around and waddle like a penguin for a little bit while your legs relax and recover from that stretch. The standing pancake is probably the hardest stretch of our entire show. So we're done with it and we're ready to move on. The fourth stretch that we're going to do is a little bit more chill, it's a little bit more relaxed. We are jumping into, I believe, the figure four because we did the pigeon last night. So the figure four looks a little bit like this. Oh, and you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do the figure four. If you prefer the pigeon, go ahead and do the pigeon. But I'm explaining the figure four. Cool? All right. For both stretches, we're doing something that looks like this. We're bringing the ankle across the body. We're grabbing that ankle. We're bringing it up to the belly button. And we're bringing the belly button down to the ankle. And we want to feel the stretch here in the side of the glute, in the side of the hip. And we'll probably feel it here in the hamstrings. All right? To do that in the figure four stretch, we're going to lay down, get our butts on the ground. From here, we are taking this leg, crossing it over to the other side, and we're trying to bring the leg in. So grab your knee, pull it in. Oh, breathe here for a second, chill. Keep on inhaling, exhaling, pull the leg in a little bit more. Inhale, exhale, pull the leg in a little bit more, and we're ready for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, ooh, 26, 25, 24, 23. This stretch is easy because there's not that much to keep in mind. This stretch is hard because you have to pull your leg in yourself and you have to use a lot of muscle power. 20, 19, 18, 17. If you're laying on your backs and you're starting to get tired, your eyes are closing, that's okay, but just don't stop pulling on that leg. Keep on feeling the pressure in the hip, in the hamstrings. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. If you're feeling a little bit of pain, some tension in the knee, you can cup the knee and pull on the knee directly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, relax. While you're in this position, you can let your hips drop from side to side and let your low back get a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of a chill sesh. And we are ready to continue into pigeon on the other side or figure four on the other side. Let's go take the other leg, cross it over the body, bring your legs, or sorry, bring your arms through the triangle around the leg, pull it in, and let's get into position. Breathe, pull the leg in, breathe, pull the leg in, breathe, pull the leg in. Once you're feeling the stretch right here in the hip, let's go 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. If you're suddenly feeling like, oh, this isn't so bad, the stretch isn't that hard, pull your legs closer to your chest. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Again, if your knees are feeling a little bit of torque, a little bit of pain, you can pull on the knee directly, and that should give you a little bit of support. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We're almost done with all of our stretches. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, let the legs down. Chill, breathe. Drop your hips from side to side. Get a little bit of relief from the low back. Keep both your shoulders down when you do this. Let your hips drop from side to side. And once you've done a couple of reps of these, it's time to move on into our fifth and final stretch. We're doing a bunch of side splits. So far, we've done 3 warm-up exercises, gotten ourselves sweaty and got the heart rate pumping and our muscles warmed up. We've done 4 stretches to prepare our hips, to get our hamstrings ready, to get our adductors ready, to get all sorts of glute muscles relaxed. And now we're going to combine all of those things together into stretch number 5. We're doing some side splits. If you've never done side splits before, don't worry. We walk through the steps all the way from the very beginning, so you don't have to stress out. Cool? Before we begin, let's talk about safety. I recommend you stand 8 to 12 inches in front of a wall. The reason for that is because, and I'm going to pretend there's an imaginary wall here. If you're in a position where you're doing the side splits, you kind of lose balance. You go, "Oh." If there's a wall right behind you, worst case scenario is up. Your butt smashes into the wall, and your butt does not fall 2.5 feet into the ground, causing your tailbone to hurt. One is much gentler than the other. Alternatively, maybe you don't know how to react and you start falling backwards. You're like, ugh. Maybe you'll look back at the wall and you'll be like, oh my gosh, there's a wall incoming. And then your shoulder will smash into the wall. And then you'll be fine as well. Maybe you won't be able to react at all. You'll be like, what is this sensation? Ah. And as you fall backwards, maybe your mid back will smash into the wall. You'll have fallen like 4 inches backwards and everything will be fine. It is a lot more comfortable having a wall to fall into than to be stuck here and then find out that you lost balance and you're going, no. And you smash your butt all the way into the ground. So stand 8 to 12 inches in front of a wall and we're ready to go. We're gonna get some side splits. First thing I want you to do is open up your legs decently wide. It doesn't have to be crazy. If you can't get this wide, that's fine. We just want to make sure there's no pain in the hips. All right. So if you've reached a point where you're like, oh, my hips, bring your legs in just a little bit until the pain goes away. Cool. From here, we are folding forward. Bring that belly button down, point it towards the ground. Chill, breathe, relax here for a second. And see if you can open up your legs a little bit wider. When we're folded forward, it rearranges our hip and thigh bone situation, and it makes it easier for us to get into a side split. So I want you to try it. I want you to open up your legs a little bit wider while you're folded forward like this. And if possible, I want you to try and put your hands down on the ground for a little bit of support. If you can't get there, that's okay. Try to elevate your hands maybe with some yoga blocks, a small stool, a chair even, just to help get into a stable position like so. All right. From here, we're going to do something that's very important. So definitely do it. We're going to externally rotate the legs. What does that mean? Instead of having our foot down flat like this, we're going to rotate the leg so that your heel is down, your toes are pointing up, your knee is pointing up, your quads are pointing up. This whole leg is rotating backwards. All right. This further opens up the hip for us to get into a deeper side split. It rotates the thigh bone in the hip socket and keeps some of the stuff from smashing into each other. We don't have to get into the anatomy stuff, just know that it helps. From here, I want you to do this on both legs. You can't see the other leg because I'm too close to the camera. And oh, we're in position. This is a side split. From here, I want you to try your best to walk your hands back towards your legs. This is where you might lose balance and fall backwards and slip and hit your butt. So be careful. And once you're here, we're gonna do a little wiggle from side to side. We're gonna try and push one leg out and the other leg out and the other leg out and the other leg out to get a little bit deeper by breaking the friction, holding your feet back. And now we're as deep as we're gonna get, I think. So 30 seconds, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, breathe, don't hold your breath. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Walk your hands forward, pull your legs in, and that is our first side split. Oh, we're gonna do 3 rounds of side splits, and what that means is we're gonna do 3 rounds of chilling after each side split because we just put a whole bunch of tension into our legs, and if we get right back into another side split, there's gonna be a lot of extra tension in there that we don't need. It's gonna keep us from getting stretchy and loose. And so we're gonna shake it out. We're gonna shake out all the tension. We're gonna get floppy, loose, look like wild spaghetti and jelly and jello. I don't know, floppy, shaky stuff. And let's do it. Shake out each leg one at a time and let those muscles relax. Your ankles should be flopping all over the place. Your calves should be going just crazy, bouncing all over the place. That is what we want. If you're not quite sure if you're doing it right, because you can't tell because my legs are moving too fast and you're confused, I want you to attempt to shake water and flick it off your toes. Like you just got out of the shower and for some reason you're not drying your feet properly, so you're flicking the water as far as you can off of your foot. Maybe you're splashing the water into your friend's face at the beach, whatever it is. As you get comfortable with that motion and you realize you've been whipping your leg, your ankle has been relaxed, your calves have been just chilling, you go whoosh, throw the leg out. I want you to maintain that level of relaxation of whipping your leg out and drop the knee. Relax it. Make it a little bit more chill. Make it a little bit more flappy. And that is our shaking. All right. Shake out that leg. You really only need 5 to 10 seconds. If you've done your 5 to 10 seconds, let's move on to the other side. Again, we're shaking out the leg. You're whipping the leg out, trying to send water droplets flying as far as you can. And then drop the knee, relax the leg, chill a little bit more, keep the ankles relaxed, keep the calves relaxed, and shake out the leg. Shake, 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 shake. Whew. That was the legs. Let's do a little bit for the hips, because when they're doing this, they get all tight and uncomfortable. So we're gonna lean all of our weight onto one side. We're going to drop the big toe, the ball of the foot on the other. We're gonna just rotate the knee in and out, 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 in and out. Notice how nothing else is moving in the body, just the leg where it attaches to the hip. And we're doing this very, it's not necessarily gentle because we're going pretty fast, but it's not super intense. We're not trying to contract every muscle and go, we're just letting the leg come in and out. All right, we're adding that movement to help these muscles in the hip to relax. So if you're contracting really hard every time, it's the opposite of what we're trying to do. Cool? And as you do more of these, you get more comfortable with these, and you start moving a little bit faster and a little bit more intense, you might get to a point where you can get your quad muscles to sort of flop around and go crazy as well. And that is how we combine all those different movements to shake out our legs and get them loosened up for some side splits. Let's get back into some side splits. We're gonna get 8 to 12 inches in front of whatever you're prepared to fall into. I recommend a wall. 8 to 12 inches is usually 1.5, 2 steps for most people. So let's go. Open up the legs decently wide. If there's pain or discomfort in the hips, stop, bring your legs back, and let's fold. Fold your belly button forward and down into the ground. If you're in this folded position, you should be able to get into a deeper side split position without pain. Maybe not with much control, but without pain. And from here, I want you to really try to put your hands down on the ground. If you need to, elevate those hands, and we're going to externally rotate the legs. Again, we're taking our foot from this position where it's flat on the ground, and you got this ankle stretch over here on the side, and we're rotating the leg so that the heel is down, the toes are pointing up, the knees are pointing up, and you're rotating the whole entire leg back behind you. Cool? From this position, you might be able to just slip into a much deeper side split automatically, and that would be awesome. From here, we're going to walk our hands back towards our hips. Try your best not to fall backwards onto your butt from this position. And we're here. Do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can break the friction holding your feet back. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. You might notice that this position looks a lot like and feels a lot like the pancake that we were doing earlier. Maybe your hands are the seat of your seated pancake. And oh, if you want, you can always add in a little bit more forward fold into your side split. Combine both, that's okay. I forgot to keep track of the number. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, bring your legs in, come back up, walk your hands forward. Oh, that is side split number 2. Probably felt a little bit easier than side split number 1 because I explain a lot of stuff in side split number 1 and I take a little bit extra time. So you're holding that position is like really intense. But hopefully you also felt like you slid into it a little bit more gently and found little places where you're like, oh, I am way more flexible than I thought as we were going. That was side split number 2. So let's shake it out, relax, and get our bodies loose for side split number 3. Once again, we are shaking the legs out. Shake, 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 shake. Flick, 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 flick. Let the ankle flop around. Let the calves flop around. Just relax your legs as much as possible. And again, if you've never done this before and you're like, how am I supposed to do that? I want you to imagine that you're flicking water off of your foot after getting out of the water at the beach or pond or lake. You're just sending the water droplets flying off of your toes as fast as you can. And when you're doing that, your ankles, your calves should be relaxed. As you get more comfortable, drop the knee down, and we're in position. We're doing the thing. All right? Other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Add your arms in. They can always benefit from a little relaxation. Be a T-Rex with your hands. Let the wrists bounce up and down. Don't whip those around too hard because your wrists are fragile. Just a little bit of light motion. T-Rex hands. From here, we're going to do a little bit for the hips. Lean all your weight into one side. Bring the toes, the ball of the foot down on the other. And we're going to bring the knees in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. If you pick up the intensity and you pick up the speed, your quad muscles can go flying all over the place. And if you're not quite there yet, that's okay. Whew, that is warm, I don't know, in between part 2. So we're going to get into side split number 3. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of whatever it is that you are prepared to fall into, and let's go. Open up the legs decently wide. If you can, go further. If your hips are hurting, bring your legs in. And we're gonna fold forward. Bring the belly button down towards the ground. Ooh, boom. From here, try your best to put your hands down and get into a wider position. You should be able to get into a wider side split position just by folding forward at 90 degrees. So go ahead and do that. If you can, I want you to externally rotate the legs. No, not if you can. You have to externally rotate your legs. What that means is you take your foot from this planted position, and you rotate the whole leg backwards so that the heel is down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up. And I want you to do that on both sides. Again, this is super important because it rotates your thigh bones against your hip bones so that they don't smash into each other and cause you massively uncomfortable side splits later on. And when you rotate them, the bones actually just move out of the way of each other and they never smash into each other, so they won't cause you discomfort. Cool? All right. That's it. We're here. Do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can get just a little bit deeper. And 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. If this whole time your arms have been locked out totally straight, supporting your body weight, give your arms a bend at the elbows, and see if suddenly you feel like your split has just gotten like 20 times harder. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We are done. Walk your hands forward, pull your legs in underneath you, kneel. Chill, relax, and breathe. And with that, we've done all of our splits. We're gonna get back up into standing. We're gonna shake out our legs. We're gonna try our best to relax, and then we're gonna do a couple joint checks and wrap up with Q&A. All right, let's go. Shake out your legs. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. I don't think I explained why we do the shaking this time around. Not so clearly, at least. When we do the side split, all of the muscles in our legs are tensing and getting really, really, really contracted and intense to keep us from getting into a deeper side split position. All right. When that happens, you got a whole bunch of tension in your legs, in your hips. That is fighting against you in your stretching goals. When we shake out the tension, when we try our best to relax the body, it helps sort of reset. Our muscles are loose and we're ready to give the stretch another go. Over here in the hips, instead of doing our classic, actually, you know what? It's fine. It's Friday night. We're going to take a chill. Or usually we end with really, really contracting the glutes and the legs. Today, we're just going to continue doing what we did earlier, where we bring the leg in and out, and in and out, and in and out. I want you to make this fun, make this enjoyable. So if you feel like this is starting to look a little bit like a dance move and you want to combine both legs together as you do this, if you want to do some stanky leg, bring the leg in from either side, work those hips, work that range of motion while you're loosening up, please add it in, make it fun, make it enjoyable. All right? Whew. Again, if after all those things, your legs are still feeling tight, keep on going with this thing. I want you to aim so that one day, soon, you can get fast enough, intense enough that your quad muscles just go flying all over the place. All right? And that will help you to relax and get a little bit more control over your body. Relax on demand. Okay, that's it. We're gonna do a couple of quick joint checks and we're gonna wrap up for today. First thing that I wanna do is a couple of slow hip circles. You can imagine that you're hula hooping if you'd like. Just make sure you're going through that full range of motion. I feel a whole bunch of tension here in the sides of the hip, left and right. A little bit in the obliques too right now. And I have to spend some extra time there. If you got tension in some other places, something else feels weird, maybe your low back is a little achy already, go ahead, spend a little bit of time, do a little wiggle, do a little dance, and Oh, give those parts of your hips a little bit of love. From there, we are going to do a quick high knee. All right. You don't have to do very many. You'll know if your knee is going to pop up or not immediately. And if it isn't popping up, you're going to want to spend some time on it. Just do a little wiggle, do a little dance, some mini high knees. From here, we're going to pop into a squat. I want you to bring your feet pretty close together, right? And I want you to fold forward and pop into a squat. All right. From the side, should look a little bit like this. And I want you to keep bringing that butt low and push the knees forward. When you do this, you're going to feel a bunch of tension on your toes in the foot, and you're going to feel a bunch of tension in the Achilles tendon up into the calves. Our goal here is to get all these muscles, all these joints working well together so that you can make sure your legs are doing a good job, right? From here, I want you to try your best to balance your weight between your big toe and your pinky toe. And I want you to lean forward, do a little bit of a calf raise. You can slow it down if you like. You can speed it up if you're not feeling quite that strong. 3 or 4 reps is plenty. Come on back up into standing out of that squat. And if you're able to do those, you're able to get your toes working well with your feet, with your ankles, with your calves, with your knees, with your quads, with your hips. You're able to work that intense range of motion, and you're probably pretty good. So you're good to go. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, hanging out with us tonight. Jennifer Cooper says, not easy this late at night. No, it's definitely not easy. That's why we've been going for about an hour and 3 minutes with a full warm up. If you're just joining in, it's probably not going to be super easy. But if you've been here for the whole live, uh, maybe it's a little bit easier because you've been warming up for, for quite a while. Gayeta says, Ken, I'm here, but watching on YouTube. Lovely. Welcome, Gayeta. It's good to see you. Thank you for hopping back in after the live and sending good vibes into the chat. I appreciate it. Okay, where we at with this? It's time. We're done. We just wrapped up everything. If you enjoyed the live and you have not somehow heard that we do 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, make stretching a little bit more fun, a little bit more bearable, give us a standard time to practice and do the part of stretching, then you should make sure to hit follow and hit subscribe, because we do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. And since it's the weekend coming right up, we have bonus lives all weekend. So Saturday morning and Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. So that's in like 11 hours. We have a request to do some thoracic rotation, and I'm happy to jump into it. Let's do it. The way we had set this up before is we're basically folding over at the hips, right? And we combined it with the elephant walks, which was something like this, right? Knees bending in and out. So from the front, we are getting into that position. Forward fold, knee bent. We're going to reach our hand from the bent knee side. So reach across the body. We're going to push against that leg to help push and rotate the chest up and away. Cool? From here, we're going to extend the other arm, the arm that you have remaining, up into the air behind you. We're going to rotate the neck. We're going to try and look at that hand and see where you're pointing and how far you've reached. From here, I want you to keep on reaching. Take a small inhale and exhale. Push a little bit harder with your hand that's down on your leg. Reach a little bit further with the other hand, and that is some thoracic rotation. We're going to switch to the other side. Now the other leg is bent. Hand from the bent leg side is reaching across the body. It is pushing against the leg to help rotate that chest, to rotate that spine. Look up at the hand, rotate the neck, work those eyeball muscles too. Look, reach. Inhale, small inhale, exhale. And that, is some thoracic rotation. You don't have to do it quite that way. Technically, if you're able to keep your hips locked, you can just start rotating from side to side to do a very similar thing. I just like to combine it with the hamstring stretch with the balance work because it's part of our warm-up. If you're looking to get some more thoracic rotation, it's totally possible to do this from a seat. And I'm gonna go grab a seat real quick. to show you. If you have a chair, you can sort of wrap your legs around the legs of the chair. So hopefully you don't have a super fancy chair with super complex legs. From here, it's totally possible to just grab the sides of the chair, sit up pretty straight, give it a nice gentle pull, look over the shoulder, keep on looking, and get some thoracic rotation that way. Try to imagine that your spine is lengthening and you're growing taller, like the top of your head is being pulled up, and that should give a little bit more space in between the vertebrae so that you can get slightly more rotation. Sound good? All right, let's look at what else we got in the chat. Chase says, when you're doing hip cars, the leg that is in holding the body weight after a set, what do? Wait, what? Hold on, I'm gonna scroll back up, see if there's something else in here. Millicent Williams says, thanks again. You're very welcome. When doing hip car, the leg that is holding the body weight, if after doing a set, what do? I'm not sure I understand the question, but I'm gonna do my best job interpreting. For the leg that is standing upright and holding your body weight while we're doing hip cars, we're mostly trying to contract the glutes, contract the muscles, trying to keep it stable. The more tense the muscles are in the rest of your body, the easier it will be to balance. And I don't talk about this that, no, I don't think I talk about this at all. But the more intense you hold your core, the tighter you grip with your glutes on this standing leg, the easier it will be to hold balance. Sometimes you might have seen I do something like this where I'm making a fist and I have my arms really close to my sides. That's me holding a lot of tension in my upper body so that we can, or I can, continue moving the legs and the rest of the body is like very stiff so that it's easier to balance, right? Like if you, what's a good example of this? If you wanted to balance a stick of spaghetti and it was raw and uncooked, you'd probably be able to balance it lengthwise just like by trying to do this, right? But if it was cooked, it was all floppy all over the place, it'd be much harder to figure out how to balance. Spaghetti's not a really good example. How do I have a better example that I can think of? Is my mind farting? Yes, it is. My brain is farting hard. Um, you might know that if you want to go carry somebody, if they're actually asleep, they're unconscious. When you're trying to lift them, they're like all loose and floppy, and it's really hard to pull them off the ground. It's really hard to move them. But if they're awake and they're able to help you, they can tense some muscles and they can turn into like a solid board. And it'll be easier to lift them up and it'll be easier to balance and shift your weight. Same general principle. If you're hearing this for the first time, I'm sorry, it's another bad example. But if you understand what I'm talking about, um, that's basically the same theory for what we're doing with our body, with our legs to help stabilize for the hip cars. Um, hope that makes sense. Was if after doing a set, what do? If after doing a set, what do? If after doing a set, what do? Um, if your legs, if this leg, this hip is feeling really tired after a set, and you're not quite sure what to do with them because you're not quite ready to go into the next thing, usually we alternate left and right leg, right? So we do hip cars on one side. Once that's done, we do hip cars on the other side. So that should give you enough of a break in the muscles that you're using to help stabilize. But if that's not enough, you can also add in the shakes that we've been doing and the leg rotation that we've been doing. Yeah, I think that's all I got for that question. When doing the hip cars, the leg that is holding the body weight. What do I do? Yep. Okay. Chase says, thank you. Awesome. Oh, what do you recommend if one side is more sore? Should we change anything? Oh, okay. Um, there's a couple of things. If one side is feeling more sore, it's highly possible that one side is working a little bit harder, or one side is also a little bit weaker than the other. And I don't think we really need to go out of your way to change things. But if you're feeling perpetually sore and a little bit achy, it might make sense to take a day off and not do as many, or do it at a much more reduced range of motion. So if you're doing the hip cars and one side is going really hard, and you're like, oh man, that really aches on any given day, Don't reach that end range of motion. Just do it nice and gentle. Warm up the muscles, right? But you don't need to reach the maximum that you can. You don't have to lift your knee as high as possible. You don't have to open up your hip as wide as possible. You can hit 80%, 70%, and that'll be plenty for the warm up. We always encourage, or I always encourage, that you build strength while you're building mobility. But if you're not feeling quite right on any given day, you can always dial back the intensity. All right. You don't have to give 100% every single time. Cool. Soreness otherwise, if you are experiencing one side is working a lot harder than the other, or is more sore than the other, it could be that you are working a lot harder on one side than the other. And that might be a good time to set up a camera, take a quick look at what you're doing when you're doing the hip guards. If, for example, you're doing it and you realize you're like leaning way off to one side when you're doing the lifting of the leg on this side and rotating and bringing the leg back, that could be the difference that causes one side to be more sore than the other. Maybe you don't have quite as much flexibility or quite as much balance in the other leg, so you don't go nearly as far and try to do something crazy with your leg. Could be lots of little things that compound and add up into why one side is more sore than the other. So I think the quick assessment would be take a quick video and see if you're doing something unique on one side versus the other. Otherwise, you could just be tired, right? We do 4 rounds of hip guards. We do two to the front, one to the front on each side, and one to the back on each side. So by the time you get to this final leg, the right leg, you might just be tired and you don't work as hard. And the other legs, you're working a little bit harder, and that's why one leg is more sore than the other. That is pretty normal. And now that I've said it aloud, maybe I should rotate which side goes first so that we can be a little bit more fair and not just have like one really weak side because it's always the last one that you're tired for. Okay. What else we got in the chat? Chase says, yes, I think you're right. We'll check on that. Awesome. Okay. I think that is most of the chat. I'm going to scroll real quick to see if there's anything else to address. And then we will wrap up. Millicent says, thanks again. Josh Tree talked about thoracic rotation, and we have covered those. Galletta's back. Oh, I accidentally invited somebody to the live again. But they weren't able to join in, so it was awesome. Jennifer says, it's not easy this late at night. All right, scroll. I think we have covered pretty much everything that came in. Josh says 30 minutes late. You're never late, all right? One of the messages that I try to put out in the content that I make, I also make short form content on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok on the same account at Splits on the Side, is you only need 2 minutes to get a good, solid, little tiny mini workout, right? So we spend a whole bunch of time here doing the side splits work, doing this workout, and you know that in some of these stretches, if you can just hold out for 30 seconds, it's already a lot. It's crazy. So take that into consideration when you feel like you only got 2 minutes. Our warm-ups, our hip cars, are pretty solid for working your hip mobility, getting you a little bit more mobile, getting your hips warmed up so that you can do other things. That is a perfectly valid way to spend 2 minutes and work a lot of little tiny muscles throughout your hip, right? You don't need to get your butt to a gym. You don't need to, set up a crazy situation in order for you to get your exercise. And I would love it if you hung out, joined us for the live, and did whatever that you could, as long as it fits in your schedule and you have the time to do it. Cool. All right. I think that is everything. I've scrolled up almost to the top. I'm seeing some old messages. And so I would like to, hey, hello, Che. I'd like to thank you all one more time for coming in, joining live, working on the side splits with us. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 6 p.m. Pacific time. If that is not a time, if those time zones are not a time zone that you know relevant to your time zone, we started an hour and 16 minutes ago. And we do this every single day. So come in, practice some consistency with us, do some side splits and hip mobility with us. Make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep on hanging out. All right. I make other content on mostly strength, adding in a little bit of fitness, integrating it into your day instead of making it a big thing that you have to do. which is kind of counter what we're currently doing with this live because we hang out for like 45, 60 minutes, usually a little bit more than 60 minutes on the live doing side split stuff, hip mobility stuff together. And so if you're trying to add fitness and make it a part of your life, that's easy to do. Check out some of those videos. If you missed the live and you're trying to catch up, you don't have to, first of all. But if you really want to, I have a quick version of the live. It's about 15 minutes. There's no talking, there's no explanation. It is uploaded onto YouTube, and you just go through all the exercises. You hold the stretch for 30 seconds, you get in, you get out, and you're done. Right? So if that's what you need, you can go ahead and check that out. It's on YouTube. The username is at splits on the side. So the exact same username as on TikTok. And you can enjoy that. That's all I got for today. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in. I hope you sleep well. Enjoy your evening. And I hope to see you in a little bit. We got another live in 10 hours and 43 minutes. And that is our 9 a.m. weekend live on Saturday and Sunday mornings. But our normal standard time is 9 p.m. So you got the times. Let's wrap up for today. I will see you very soon. Thank you again, everybody, for coming in and practicing consistency and some side splits with me. Closing it out. Oh, actually, maybe some new messages came in. Scrolling to the bottom one more time. Josh says, you're awesome. I'll see you tomorrow. Lovely. See you tomorrow. All right. Closing out. Bye-bye.